The reason people often fail to respect you isn't due to inherent weakness, lack of intelligence, or insufficient success. It's because you're transparent. They perceive your eagerness for approval, your yearning to be liked, and your aversion to conflict. This vulnerability, this porous presence, is where you falter and invite disrespect. The world doesn't bend to emotion, nor does it acknowledge effort or good intentions. It responds to raw power, a force that is quiet, deliberate, and absolute, not loud, pleading, or overly explanatory. Consider your last encounter with disrespect, an ignored message, an interruption, a dismissive joke. These occurred because the other person sensed they could. Your energy, or lack thereof, conveyed an absence of consequences. True respect isn't earned by being agreeable. It's gained when your presence alone makes others pause, sensing they cannot sway, break, or decipher you. This journey delves into most potent power laws, strategies designed to cultivate an irresistible and unyielding aura. Forget motivational platitudes. This is the unvarnished psychology of dominance, the science of commanding presence, and the path to becoming truly untouchable. Stay with me, as the final principle will redefine everything. Begin your transformation by affirming. Remember that moment in a conversation when you held back, unsure how your words would land. That flicker of doubt is where your influence dissipates. Power originates from mental stillness, not merely physical quietude. When your mind is serene and utterly convinced, every fiber of your being changes. Your voice gains authority, your words carry profound weight, and even your silence becomes commanding. Without conscious understanding, others begin to align with your energy. Most individuals sabotage their own power through internal self-doubt. They enter spaces questioning their belonging, speak while anxiously gauging approval, and act only to await validation. Keenly observed that uncertainty is an open invitation for manipulation. When your hesitation is perceived, others will test your limits, push boundaries, and speak over you. This isn't malevolence. It's human instinct to follow the certain and disregard the lost. Men are won more by the eye than by the hand. People don't follow physical might or volume, they follow the conviction in your gaze. The eyes of the uncertain dart, seeking reassurance. The eyes of the certain, however, command, hold, and assert. Never betray hesitation. Even when confused, act with unwavering conviction. Even without all the answers, move as if your course is irreversible. Speak deliberately, move with purpose. Let every action project intent, not reaction. This isn't about feigning omniscience, but about owning your choices completely. Commit to your decisions without apology, external second-guessing, or seeking reassurance. This is the bedrock of an aura no one dares to question. When your self-doubt ceases, so too does the doubt of others. What separates the novice from the master? The amateur exposes everything, the master reveals nothing. Guard your emotions fiercely. Regardless of anger, exhilaration, frustration, or pain, the moment you display it, you surrender control. Recall a time you lashed out after someone provoked you. Did they retreat, or did they simply learn your triggers for next time? You handed them a blueprint to your vulnerabilities. Cultivate the art of controlled expression. A measured tone, a composed posture, an impenetrable face. This doesn't mean you're devoid of feeling, you simply choose what surfaces. Mystery commands greater deference than unbridled honesty. Calmness projects dominance. When you remain inscrutable, others automatically assume greater intelligence, experience, and even danger than you might possess. It is unnecessary to speak of everything you think. You are not obligated to grant access to your internal landscape. Your thoughts, feelings, and plans are exclusively yours until you choose otherwise. When they cannot read you, they fear misjudging you, and that apprehension becomes your impenetrable shield. Imagine being insulted in a meeting. Instead of defending or retaliating, you pause. You meet their gaze calmly, perhaps a slight nod, then seamlessly continue as if nothing occurred. What transpired? Your non-reaction denies them a read. Are you unbothered, plotting a countermove, or did it simply not register as worthy of your energy? This uncertainty rattles them, exposing them. Your controlled power makes you a mirror, reflecting their own fears and respect. Absorb, watch, and move. Cease explaining. Cease justifying. Cease revealing your hand prematurely. You don't need to issue threats, raise your voice, send aggressive messages, or stage dramatic displays. You merely need people to grasp that disrespect carries a steep, undeniable cost. This is where most falter, equating power with aggression or fear with loudness. That's not fear, it's mere noise, easily dismissed. Real fear is quiet. It emanates from the profound realization that crossing you would be an irreparable error. Never overreact. Never shout. When confronted with disrespect, do not mirror their energy. Instead, become colder, harder, more distant. Cultivate a silence that compels others to reconsider their tone. People instinctively fear what reacts less, not more. A screaming person might startle you, but their emotionality makes them predictable. You can outweight or manipulate them. However, when someone turns cold, disengages, and their expression goes blank, that is terrifying. You no longer know their thoughts, their plans. You wonder if you've just created an enemy who will silently erase you from their life, or worse. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. This doesn't endorse hostility, but a presence that demands meticulousness. People will choose their words carefully around you, sensing you are not to be tested. A disrespectful joke is made at your expense in a group. Laughter erupts. Do not laugh along or defensively lash out. Instead, allow the laughter to fade. Then look directly at the individual, not with anger, but with an unwavering presence. Hold their gaze for a beat longer than comfortable. Then calmly change the subject or simply walk away. No explanation, no drama, just a chilling shift in atmosphere. You did not validate or entertain it, you marked it. Now that person and all witnesses understand you are not to be trifled with. Let others adjust to you. Your calmness is the warning. Nothing diminishes a person more swiftly than emotional overinvestment. Caring too intensely about outcomes clouds your focus. Emotionally investing in how things unfold strips away clarity. Letting praise or criticism sway you dulls your edge. You must achieve a state where no external event disrupts your internal equilibrium. Not insults, not accolades, not triumphs, not losses. This is the apex of power. Most people are slaves to their emotions. Praise sends them soaring, criticism shatters them. Good feelings fuel productivity, bad feelings render them useless. This is not power, it's being tethered to circumstance. When you withhold reaction, you dictate direction. When others seek a response and meet silence, their power over you vanishes. They arrived armed, but you're fighting an entirely different war. A wise man does at once what a fool does at last. The fool waits for emotional calm to act rationally. The wise man is already rational, unburdened by reactive feelings. Emotional detachment isn't coldness. It's a strategic shield, keeping your mind clear while others drown in their impulses. Start with minor irritations. Someone cuts you off in traffic, acknowledge the anger, then release it. Don't fuel it. A text goes unanswered, note the anxiety, then dismiss it. Someone else's success triggers envy, recognize it, then let it go. You are training yourself to observe emotions without becoming them. Feel, acknowledge, then move on. No dwelling, no rumination, no allowing it to dictate your next step. Master this and you become formidable. While others are reacting emotionally, you are thinking with absolute clarity. While they defend their ego, you are strategically positioning. While they are consumed by feelings, you are 3 moves ahead. Psychological leverage. Authentic power doesn't demand announcement or obedience. It subtly steers behavior by discerning others' deepest fears and motivations. Your influence grows not through force, but by implanting yourself in their minds as fundamentally unchallengeable. This is achieved through meticulous observation. Most people are too engrossed in speaking to truly listen or see. Their focus on their next utterance blinds them to everything unfolding around them. You, however, watch, listen, study. You wield observation as a weapon. You pinpoint what ignites their enthusiasm, what triggers their defensiveness, their insecurities, their pride, their unspoken topics. This intelligence isn't for pleasing them. It's for precisely positioning yourself within their mental framework. The wise man does not expose himself to danger without reason. This applies perfectly to social dynamics. Do not needlessly reveal yourself. Do not disclose plans before execution. Do not explain your strategy mid-game. Your silence becomes a mirror, prompting them to reveal themselves while you calmly calculate. In a negotiation, most talk too much, trying to convince. You instead ask questions. You let them speak, nodding their emphasis, their dismissals, their hesitations. Every word is data. Then when you finally speak, you frame your position directly aligned with what you've gleaned about their motives. You're not selling haphazardly, you're hitting precise psychological targets. This is how you exert control without overt command. People believe they are making their own choices, yet you have subtly shaped the environment of their decision, influenced the narrative, and set the terms without their awareness. Those who analyze emotion from a distance ultimately control those entrapped within it. This is psychological warfare, subtle, invisible, absolute. Every instance of tolerated disrespect erodes your aura. Every excuse for mistreatment, every compromise for harmony, every explanation for deserving basic respect. These teach people that you are negotiable. And negotiable people don't possess auras, they wear metaphorical doormats. Powerful individuals safeguard their personal space as if it were sacred territory. No negotiation, no apologies, no justifications. When your peace is breached, terminate the violation instantly. Not with drama or verbose declarations of hurt. You simply end it. You remove yourself. You sever contact. You move forward. When your silence is tested, withdraw permanently. 1 warning is generosity, 2 is weakness. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. And true command begins with mastering yourself. It means possessing unyielding standards you will not compromise, not for friendship, opportunity, or loneliness. Boundaries are not arrogance. They are the emblem of self-sovereignty. They signal that you prioritize your energy, time, and peace above being liked. If someone consistently cancels plans, most would forgive, make excuses. You, however, after the second offense, simply cease initiating. No confrontation, no explanation. You quietly withdraw your effort. If they inquire, be honest but concise. I no longer chase people. What just happened? You established a boundary without begging for respect. Your actions demonstrated your time's value. Now they either elevate to that standard or they fade away. In either scenario, you win. Your purpose is not to be understood, but to be respected. And respect blossoms from self-respect. Stop explaining your boundaries. Stop justifying your intolerance of certain behaviors. Silently enforce them and observe how quickly people conform. Sometimes the most potent action is simply to vanish. Not with fanfare or explanation, but by silently receding your energy, attention, and presence, allowing others to confront the void you leave. A crucial mistake when disrespected is to engage in conflict, argue, or ceaselessly strive to prove your worth, clinging to the hope that your value will finally be recognized. This very act drains your power. When you are taken for granted, your time devalued, your efforts dismissed as worthless, your response should not be confrontation. It should be absence. No explanations, no lengthy emotional messages, no gratifying them with the knowledge of your hurt. You simply become unavailable, unreachable, uninterested. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. This demands both the discernment to recognize time-wasters and the fortitude to walk away irrevocably. The person who took you for granted will suddenly perceive your absence. They may reach out, apologize, promise change. The critical factor: do not rush back. Remain distant. Let them grapple with the possibility of having lost you permanently. This is psychological warfare at its peak. You aren't attacking or verbally punishing. You're removing the very thing they failed to appreciate until it was gone: access to you. Someone habitually cancels plans. Instead of complaining, you simply stop making them. They text casually, expecting your usual prompt response. You reply hours later or the next day with minimal effort. They invite you out. You are suddenly busy. The power dynamic shifts without a single word about their past behavior. Now they are the ones wondering, feeling uncertain, trying to understand the change. This applies universally. At work, if your contributions are undervalued, cease doing extra. In relationships, if treated as an option, remove yourself entirely from their rotation. No explanations, just absence. Strategic withdrawal protects your energy while unequivocally teaching your value. You are not petty, you are practical, investing your time and effort where it's valued. But heed this critical warning: you cannot withdraw and then return at their first notice. That nullifies everything. Once you pull back, you stay back until genuine change, sincere effort, and true recognition of their loss are evident. Sometimes you may realize you are simply better off without them. One act of strategic withdrawal communicates more about your worth than 1,000 words. Talk is cheap. Absence is expensive. It costs them your comfort, your convenience, your assumed security. Let them learn this lesson. You are not a guaranteed presence. You are a privilege that can be revoked and rarely easily restored. This doesn't make you cold, it makes you valuable. And valuable things are not universally or constantly available. When all these traits, certainty, silence, discipline, and control, converge, something profound occurs. You transcend ordinary behaviors. You no longer pursue approval. You no longer explain. You no longer react to every slight or celebrate every minor victory. You move with a quiet, inherent dominance because your inner core is entirely unshaken. Others will sense it. They may not articulate it, but they will feel it. They will temper their words, lower their tone, and second-guess their approach around you, not out of explicit threat, but because your mere presence demands it. This is the irresistible aura, the aura of absolute composure. Recall individuals you've met who possessed this quality. They never needed to broadcast their importance, titles, or loud voices. They simply operated on a different frequency, and everyone else unconsciously adjusted. This can be your reality, but it demands unwavering commitment. It requires abandoning the pursuit of external validation in favor of cultivating internal certainty. It necessitates rigorous self-training to eradicate emotional reactivity. It means establishing boundaries that others may label as harsh, and maintaining them regardless. Fortune favors the bold, but boldness isn't recklessness. It is the profound courage to uphold your principles alone, even when everyone else compromises theirs. You do not become untouchable by evading pain. You become untouchable by mastering it. By navigating discomfort without flinching, by enduring loss without shattering, by being insulted without defending, by being tested without cracking. This is the crown of untouchability, the unwavering capacity to remain authentically yourself, irrespective of external pressures. When you achieve this state, a remarkable shift will unfold. Those who once challenged you will suddenly offer respect. Those who dismissed you will seek your counsel. Those who overlooked you will keenly feel your absence because you will have ceased playing their game. You will have shed the need for their approval. In doing so, you will have become the most formidable piece on the board. Power is not aggression, it is immovability. In a world saturated with noise, silence becomes intimidation. Amidst constant reaction, stillness becomes control. In a world desperately seeking attention, the person who requires none becomes magnetic. You don't need permission for respect. No title, no degree, no external approval is necessary. You require only discipline and the courage to stand alone in your certainty. Most will never grasp this. They will continue to chase validation, react emotionally, tolerate disrespect, and wonder why they aren't taken seriously. But you, having absorbed this wisdom, are different. You are already prepared to do what others fear. You are already constructing an essence most dare not attempt. If this message resonated, like, share, and subscribe. We delve deeper into power dynamics, human psychology, and strategies that truly work in the real world. Let your final affirmation resonate. Remember, the world rewards strength, not fairness. It respects boundaries, not kindness. It follows certainty, not doubt. Stay ruthless. Stay calm. Stay above emotion. Your aura is being forged with every choice you make. Make it count.